Hello, welcome to our Sasha's Dreams channel, a magical world where children's imagination comes to life through captivating stories. Let's start telling our story today.
Tommy's Treasure and the Secret of Sharing. Once upon a time in a little town, where the trees whispered songs and the clouds played shape games, there lived a boy named Tommy. But Tommy had a bit of a problem. He didn't like to share. He had a mountain of toys, from race cars faster than the wind to a robot that could dance better than a penguin on ice. And even though his friends always asked to play with him, he'd answer with a no louder than a lion's roar. One day, while Tommy was playing alone in his room surrounded by all his stuff, something strange happened. His favorite ball, the one that bounced almost to the ceiling, mysteriously rolled toward the darkest corner of the room. When he went to fetch it, he found a small chest, so old and dusty it looked like it came from a pirate's story. How did this get here? Tommy wondered, scratching his head, but curiosity got the better of him. So he opened it. Inside the chest, there was a map, not just any map, but one with drawings of dragons, canny mountains, and arrows that seemed to be made of stars. In the corner of the map, a message read, "The greatest treasure isn't in what you keep, but in what you share." Theft? What nonsense, scoffed Tommy. The treasure is in having it all to myself. Despite his doubts, he decided to follow the map because who can resist an adventure, right? The first place the map led him to was the forest of lost toys. There, between branches and leaves, he found a group of squirrels playing with nuts. They were laughing and running around. But whenever one squirrel threw a nut, another would catch it and toss it back with a smile. Tommy stood watching. "Why are they sharing their nuts?" Tommy asked a curious squirrel, who was looking at him with bright eyes. "Because it's more fun to play together," the squirrel said with a giggle, tossing a nut to Tommy. Surprised, Tommy caught it, and for the first time, felt something warm inside him. But he kept that feeling for later and moved on. The next stop on the map was the Mountain of 1,000 Candies. When he arrived, Tommy saw a group of kids sharing heaps of sweets with each other. It seemed like the more they shared, the more candies magically appeared. Tommy, whose mouth was watering just from looking at them, wanted one all to himself. "You can have all the candy and chocolates you want," said a red-haired girl smiling. "But I promise, they taste even better when you share them." Tommy hesitated. Share? What's so tasty about that? But seeing the laughter and joy of the others, he decided to try, and sure enough, that chocolate tasted better than anything he had ever imagined. Finally, he arrived at the last point on the map, the Great Mirror Lake. When he leaned over the water, he saw his reflection, but something wasn't right. His reflection wasn't smiling. It looked sad, lonely, surrounded by all his toys, but with no one to enjoy them with. Suddenly, a soft, wise voice spoke from the water. "Tommy, the real treasure isn't in what you have, but in who you share it with. Playing alone can be fun for a while, but true happiness comes from making others smile." Tommy stood there, thinking. He remembered the squirrels, the kids, and the candies. How different everything had been when they shared. And then he realized what the map had been trying to teach him all along. He ran back home and, for the first time, called his friends. "Come over, I've got a bunch of toys and candy to share with you." His friends, surprised but happy, came over quickly. And so, as they played together, Tommy discovered the happiness was bigger when it was shared. His laughter echoed louder, the games were more exciting, and best of all, his heart felt lighter, fuller. From that day on, Tommy became the most generous kid in town. He no longer cared about how many toys he had, but about how many friends were there to enjoy them with him. And thus, he learned the most valuable lesson of all. Sharing not only makes others happy... It fills you with happiness too.
Thank you for choosing Sasha's Dreams. Let's ignite the love of reading and create lasting memories. And remember, if you liked this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our next story.